Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Let's continue investigating the Chan teachings from Master YongHua. We're on slide 53 tonight. Commentary, we're continuing with the commentary on his teaching. The great master said, everything has formation, dwelling, decay, and emptiness. Okay, very good. So this is Buddhist wisdom. This is what happens when you look at things long enough, then you see a pattern. So, for example, at schools, at universities, people are given strings of data and they're told to look for pattern. Okay. Similarly here, the sages, they like the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, they look at the timeline and they realize that every single thing in this world that's observable will have formation, dwelling, decay, and emptiness. Okay, there are 4 phases in everything in life. You talk about formation. Why is there formation? Why is there formation? Why is there dwelling? Why is there decay? Why is there emptiness? So you observe these 4 phases of life. But there's a reason for those. Yes? Everything, every single thing in this world has 4 phases. Anyone would like to talk about anything in particular? Let's say love. Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master. When Great Master YongHua is talking about these 4 phases, is he referring to the cycle of rebirth?
The cycles of life. Everything in this world has to go through 4 phases. You name anything, a car, a house, a human being, a bridge, Eiffel Tower, a building. Anything you can think of. Yes, 4.
Master, it's like the just the pattern of what happens in the Saha world for everything.
Not just Saha world. Everything here, meaning that everything in the universe, not the Saha world. This includes the Pure Land. This includes the impure lands. Everything. Okay? Includes Shakyamuni Buddha. Look at him. He's a Buddha. What happened to him? His formation, or the other word formation is birth, dwelling. What is another word for dwelling? Growth. You take roots. Yes? A plant grows. It takes roots. It dwells. It occupies. Yes? Okay? So the Soviet came to Ukraine. They occupied. Yes? They dwell. Yes? And eventually, because it's not their country, there will be decay. Is it clear? There will be decay. It's a matter of time. Okay? What is decay? You know, it disintegrates. Deterioration. Yes? Diminishing. Yes? Okay? And emptiness. What happens? It's gone. No longer there. Everything in this universe is like that. There's a formation of birth, There's dwelling or growth, okay? And there is decay or decrease, okay? And emptiness will disappear. Don't make the mistake of assuming that everything is the same. Whether it's money, whether it's fortune, whether it's Buddhism, whether it's Buddha, whether it's love, okay? Every single thing you can think of has 4 phases. It has to go through 4 phases. Is it clear? Nothing lasts forever. Nothing at all in this world. The only thing that lasts is Vajra. Vajra is indestructible. Okay? But everything else, okay, will disappear, will die, will vanish. Yes? Okay? So love, let's talk about love that people laud and crave for. Yes? There's love, and then love grows, and then it decays. Sounds familiar? You used to be so in love, and now it's no longer the same. It used to be so wonderful. Now it's just such a drain. Yes? And then emptiness. What's emptiness? Moving on. Huh? No mas. No more. Does it make sense? Everything in life is like that. Why? Why? Oui. Pourquoi? That's French. ¿Por qué? Is that in español? ¿Por qué? Pourquoi? Why? Yes? En Vietnamese, tại sao vậy? Okay, Vietnamese is very dramatic. Chinese? 为什么？为什么？ Any other language? 为什么? Why? Why is it so? Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master. I believe it's because everything is impermanent.
Everything's impermanent. Here's what happens, folks. Can I give you my interpretation? This is kind of, unofficial, if you will. Okay? Formation. It comes to being, right? It's born. Why? Because you want it. Okay? You want it. This is what happened. It's born because you willed it. Okay? I'll give you an example. Okay? For many of us, staying with love. Okay? It's just for the heck of it. For many of us, okay, we fall in love with our spouses, our girlfriend, because it's a repeat. Sounds familiar? You were in love in a prior life, and you stupidly said, "Oh, this is so wonderful. I'd like to marry you again." stupidly made the promise, I swear to God, I will find you again, I will marry you again, we'll be happy again. And we'll make a lot of babies. So far, so good. For many of us, that's exactly what happened. Okay? So that's why as both people wander through the wheel of reincarnation, after a long, long time, conditions ripened, conditions became ideal, and then you found each other again. So actually, during this time here, the forces are such that you actually are seeking each other. We are looking for each other, if you will. Okay? So that's why it's called formation. Love came into being. Love is born. Okay? So you find him again, and you say, wow, it's something about him that draws me to him. Okay? He's so yucky, but I can't resist him. Sounds familiar? It doesn't make sense. Why am I so drawn to him? He's poor, my mom says, why don't you marry someone who loves you and who's rich and who has a good family? Why would you choose a loser? But I still choose a loser. Sound familiar? And that's called formation. Love is born again. Okay? Yes, 3.
Thank you, Master. So if I get a chance to go to Pure Land, am I going to have the same husband? Is there any option I could pick and choose?
Oh my God, that's disgusting. Thinking of upgrading already. I'm not even at decay and emptiness yet. She's thinking of upgrading. He said, can we skip to the beyond the emptiness? And oh my God, this is shocking. Koreans are ruthless. Yes, one. Let me think about the answer first.
Chun is asking why Vajra is the exception to the 4 stages.
Who?
Chun.
Because Vajra is the only substance in this universe that's indestructible. Everything else can be destroyed. Vajra is indestructible, will never be destroyed. Okay? Yeah, is there a
WMT Daniel. I did not know that Buddhists were very romantic. Does that mean I met my apple in the past?
Buddha is so romantic? Yeah. Buddhas love their wives. And they look for their wives. You know that? Buddhas travel through the wheel of reincarnation to look for their wives, okay? To love her, to marry them, and then to make babies, and then, and leave. And, and they all become a lion. It's so cool. Such a winning proposition.
From SKY Gu, Master YongHua, can you please clarify what Vajra is? Is it the same or the result of the Buddha mind? Thank you.
Vajra is something that you know when you get there. It cannot be described to you. The only thing I can tell you that for your information, the only exception to everything here, Okay, because when we said everything has formation, dwelling, decay, and emptiness, that's Master YongHua's teaching. I am compelled to tell you there's one exception, one thing that is indestructible, okay? It will have a formation, has dwelling, it will never decay, it will never become empty. Okay, so Vajra is the only exception. Everything here, okay, has one exception. Everything except for Vajra has formation, dwelling, decay, and emptiness. Okay, don't want to mislead you at all. So, if anything else besides Vajra, we will be subject to the 4 phases of existence. All right? Anything else? So the reason that you find your love in your life again is because you willed it, okay? In the past, okay, you willed it. You said, I would like, to love you again. Okay, I swear I would love you again. Okay, I swear I would find you again, will marry you and then save you. That's what the Buddha said. Okay? So far so good? Okay. And because of that, once that love develops, okay, it will grow. Okay, it will go through its course. Okay, and therefore there will come to a point in time where it will decay. Okay, physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever the reasons, it will decay. Love will not remain the same. So love begins and grows stronger and will decay. That's the way it is. So that's why you heard it here first in Wei Mountain Temple. Be prepared for love to decay. Love will not last forever. Okay? Can we have this as a Dharma glimpse? Buddhist wisdom. Love decays. Fools! Love will decay. Okay? And then it will die. Love will die. Okay? In some cases sooner than others, but it will die and will disappear. Okay? So going back to the question, can we upgrade now? When I go to the Pure Land, is there upgrade? Well, in the Western Bliss Pure Land, I don't know about the other Pure Lands, but in the Western Bliss Pure Land, there's no such a thing. There's no love being born in the Western Bliss Pure Land. So you're safe, temporarily. Until you come back to the Sahara world, and then all bets are off. You are subject to the 4 things again. The 4 phases again: formation, dwelling, decay, and disappearance, or emptiness, or destruction. Okay? All right? That's the way it is. Anything in this world: love, money, fortune, wealth, inheritance, emperorship, kingship, presidency, you name it. It will disappear. So enjoy while you still can. Stop complaining. Okay? And what's interesting to me is that people fall in love. Now, I'm fascinated by this concept of love. People fall in love. And they get married, and they nowadays they don't even get married. They become partners, whatever. Okay, and then most couples make this mistake. That is, they allow themselves to grow in different directions. And that's why it decays. Does it make sense? Okay? And if some people, some couples were able to grow in the same direction, then it lasts longer, a lot longer. But it's just that why aren't we teaching our children about this reality of life? You know, we should tell our children, our daughters, before they get married, you get tired of him one of these days. Or our sons, hey, 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 it's a long way to go, kid. You don't believe me now. But I'm here, call me. All right? Any questions or comments? It's amazing. People don't want to talk about this. People only want to talk about how wonderful it is, how nice it is to be rich, And it's just like money, like wealth, for example. A lot of people say I have wealth because it's from my hard work, from my inheritance or whatever. Okay, and it increases because you get a share of that. You got a bigger share, okay, and then it decays. But you're going to spend it anyway, okay, and it's be gone. Okay, yeah, or you die, and you can't take it with you. Okay, that's emptiness. You leave with empty-handed. Okay. People don't think about those things. People are so short-sighted. They say, I'm so excited. This is so much fun. That's it. They fail to see the big picture. It's a lack of wisdom, if you will. Go ahead, JMT.
네, 성주계공 얘기를 들으면서 질문이 생겼는데요. 그러니까는 이 세상, 그러니까 예토와 정토는 부처님의 원에 의해서 생겼다고 들었던 것 같습니다. 그러면은 이 세상이 생겨나고 유지되는 건 부처님의 원에 의해서 유지되는 건데, 그 없어지는 것도 부처님의 원이 다 이루어졌기 때문이니까, 아니면은 무엇 때문에 세상이 없어지는 겁니까? 그게 궁금합니다.
Master, when you talked about this formation, dwelling, decay, and emptiness, remind of a question. It's about pure land and non-pure land. And I heard that it's all according to Buddha's wish. That's why these lands are created. So for example, pure land and non-pure land, when it's created, formations, and then when it's disappear, is that also a Buddha's will or Buddha's wish? And if it is not, why the things disappear or become empty?
It's just that the way it is. Everything is created, okay, because of your will. Okay, and because after it's created, it will grow to its maturity. Okay, and once it grows to its maturity, then it will start decaying. Maybe the Buddhas get tired of it. Say, I don't know. I don't want to be Buddhas anymore. This is becoming a drag. I don't want to be married anymore. This is becoming a drag. All this money is just too much for me. It's just endless. I need to make even more money. And so forth. Okay, so you're tired of it, and then eventually you'll be free of it. Okay, so that's the way things are. Okay, everything. So that includes pure lands as well as impure lands. Everything in the universe will go through 4 phases. So every single Buddha land will go through the formation, will dwell, will start decaying, and will become empty. And then it will be born again. It goes through the cycles of being formation, going through the formation, dwelling, decaying, emptiness again, endlessly. Okay? Over and over and over again. Okay? Someone told me, AAA guy told me, it's called the cycle of life. He came over to do the jump start the car, and he said, my battery is just had my battery for a year. He said, it's just a cycle of life. So he basically had no idea what he's talking about. Actually, it's formation, dwelling, decay, and emptiness. Battery is dead. The cycle of life. And then he said, will you give me a good rating? It's so funny. Yes, one.
Master Tuck, the temple doctor, he said even every thought has the cycle of life.
Every single thing, yes. The thought too comes into being because of prior conditions, okay? And then it takes hold of you. What's dwelling of a thought? Meaning that it's there, it has babies. Associated thoughts, okay? Let's say a thought, I feel like a hamburger. It's a thought, right? Okay? And then because of that thought, okay, you hop on your car, okay, and go to a fast food joint, buy a hamburger, yes? And then because you were there, you say, okay, let me have some fries as well, curly fries, okay? Okay, and then how about a shake? The lady, the clerk, the sales clerk say, how about a shake? He say, yeah, okay, a shake. And so forth. See, all those are dwelling. Does it make sense? Dwelling here, takes roots. It multiplies. It becomes stronger. It has babies. Does it make sense? Is that clear? Okay? And then decays, meaning that you start eating it. Okay? Now the burger becomes, it shrink and get smaller. Okay? And then emptiness is gone. Especially after you go through. I'm sorry, I'm too detailed. Too much information. But you guys, it's funny how you folks only prefer to look at the good sides of life. To me, it's a combination, how wonderful it is, how beautiful to have a thought, a craving of hamburgers, to the point where you actually have to flush it out. So that we make room for another. JMT.
죄송합니다. 아까 질문하고 안 껐습니다. 잘못했습니다.
No more questions. Okay, go ahead, 9.
I was gonna say, Master, I think, and I guess it's because at one point I thought, if I only look at the good things in life, I didn't know at that moment, but now I know. I thought I was surviving, and even if I think of that, I was not surviving. It was dead. Like I can see it. But at that moment, it was like, if I look at the good things, I'm surviving. I'm living. When now I think like, oh, that kept me trapped and kind of like with the illusion.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. So that's we are ill prepared for the 4 phases of the existence. We are deluded into thinking that things are permanent, okay? That we love forever, things will last forever, but that's wishful thinking, and that's why we're ill prepared for decay and emptiness. You agree with that? Most of us are ill prepared to deal with decay, the fact that things that are important to us are decaying, our parents are dying, our love is dying, okay? And we want to upgrade. Okay? And eventually it's gone. Yes, one.
From Leo or Lio?
Lyle.
Lio. Yesterday, I got to see my husband's car to be scrapped. I didn't know the damage was that big, and I realized he could have been injured severely.
Oh my God! Yeah, really, seriously, that the car to be total like that. It's amazing he survived. Was he hospitalized or got injured or something like that, or no?
She can answer you, but there's a lot more. Medicine Master Buddha must have helped him, so thank you, Master Sunims, for all your help. Since the accident, he's depressed and always on edge. We may have been divorced by now if I didn't meet Mahayana. He may never know, so thank you again. I think I only can try to be more compassionate, more patient for him, so he may blow off steam on me. Lastly, I'd like to thank Peter and Jumi, Ru Zhang, for sharing your experience, and also Medicine Master Buddha Mantra MP3 files yesterday. I'm not sure if I could persuade him to buy Toyota.
But thank you for the input. She means.
Forgot the name. I'm not good with the name of cars, but it makes sense that the
Highlander.
car could make you behave differently. So I'll keep that in my mind. Thank you.
Foreigner? Okay. Type her. Tell her it's Forerunner. We thank you for the input. It's amazing that if he had such a serious accident and that he came out alive, he should be very happy. He should feel very, very lucky. Okay. So yes, I believe after all these years of hearing stories like that, seeing cases like that, I do believe that the Medicine Master Buddha Dharma really, really works. Okay, I'm a believer. Okay, it's wonderful, and primarily one of the things that's kind of nice to have is that you have this prevention of accidental deaths. Okay, we never can tell nowadays. It's too dangerous. I don't know about Korea, but I know here in California, driving is very dangerous. Yeah. Because we have a lot of people who don't go to driving school. Okay, and many of them drive don't have any driving experience. So it's crazy, and then there's so many distractions, cell phones and so forth. So yes, it's very dangerous. So that's why I remind myself every time I drive, I recite Medicine Master Buddha's name. Okay, you never know. Okay, and it's nice to have Buddha, Medicine Master Buddha's blessings. But thank you for sharing with us. Absolutely. Anything else? Okay. Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master. 안녕하세요 and 감사합니다 for the follow-up.
The feedback.
Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. He will like it.
Yeah.
It's a very luxurious but safe, high vehicle. But also, thank you for sharing about you encountering Mahayana and keeping you from becoming divorced. For a man, when we lose our vehicle like that, it hits our ego really hard.
Yeah, it's depressing. Again.
And thank you for your compassion for your husband as he goes through this, because I know when I lost two of my cars, I didn't realize until I saw it on the tow truck,
Yeah.
how much it hurt.
Yeah, it really hurts. But by the way, Peter, to ask someone to downgrade from a Beamer to a Toyota would not help with the depression. Okay?
Okay, Toyota Land Cruiser then. I also have to agree that during difficult times, having encountered Mahayana is a wonderful aid for marriage.
Yes, it's a blessing, actually. The fact that you undergo the training here in Mahayana that enables you to take on more suffering, and that's the proof right there in this particular example that her husband suffered a lot, and she's helping him tremendously, a lot more than he realizes even. And that's the nature of what we do. We help, and people don't know. And that's okay too. We simply help because we can. Okay? So it's wonderful, that you're able to, that she's able to provide support and uphold him. Okay? Jewel Conk.
감사합니다, 마스터. 다름이 아니라 한국에 오셨을 때 질문 드린 뒤로 작은 변화가 있어서 감사 인사를 드리고 싶어서 말씀드리고자 합니다. 제가 최근에는 이제 어머니께 뭔가 욱하는 일이 있거나 이랬을 때도 사과를 바로 드릴 수 있게 되었습니다. 이전까지는 어머니께서 뭔가를 하시거나 뭔가 화를 내게 만드는 상황이나 화를 내시면 일단 부딪히고 어머니의 잘못을 찾으려고 하고 탓을 하려고 했었는데 지금은 이제 그런 생각이 올라오기 전에 먼저 어머니께 사과를 드릴 수 있게 됐는데요. 아마 이전까지는 부모님에 대한 화나 미움이 너무 많이 있어서 생각만 해도 뭔가 화가 나고 밉고 하는 마음이 있었다면 지금은 그거랑 별개로 부모님을 생각할 수 있는 여유가 힘이 조금 생긴 것 같습니다. 그 과정을 도와주신 마스터와 마스터 도량에 계신 모든 스님들께 감사드리고 싶습니다.
Master, I'd like to share my story. After you visit in Korea, there was some change, personal change. And I'd like to share, and also I'd like to thank you and also Venerables. Recently, my mother got upset. Usually, before I met you, I would be right away upset or fight with her because I think I have a lot of anger and then I get really upset at my parents. But recently my mother was upset, but I was able to right away apologize to her. And before even my angry thoughts appear, I was able to apologize to her. Now I became more considerate to my parents and tried to understand them a little bit more. So I'm going to this direction, and I'd like to thank you and Venerables.
That's so wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that. But your shaking hasn't changed. No, I'm kidding. It's wonderful. First of all, let me explain to you what happened. The reason that for that to happen, that you didn't fight with your mother, even though she picked a fight with you, is because you improved. Here's what happens. Before that, in the past, when she picked a fight with you, it offended you because her anger is affected you adversely. Okay? That's why you offended. That's why you fought back. Now, you are stronger than her, so that when she attacked you and picked a fight with you, he said, "Is that all you got?" So that's why you no longer are as offended as before. You could take it. And that's what happens. It's just like a kid coming over and try to hit you, and you say, "It doesn't do anything to you." Okay? So that's why. Physically, that's exactly what happened. That her mother picked a fight with her, but she's so strong nowadays as compared to before, she could take the attack easily, and that's how she could remain calm. Okay? So only because she became stronger mentally. Okay? You see, that's a confirmation right there that you should keep going. You should feel very lucky that you go to most temples, they would ask you to stop cultivating or ask you to leave because you scare people. People would think because you're shaking, she's shaking more than before. Okay? If you're shaking, people are not comfortable. Okay? And therefore you don't have a chance to practice at the temple, in those such temples. And our temple, you're not the only one. We have a lot of crazy people like you. Okay? And I know when you're shaking like that, it's a very, very good state. There's no need to be worried about. So many of you have, many of you disciples have been like that, went through phases like that, and eventually they stop shaking. Okay? It's a natural evolution. I could probably help you to stop shaking right away, but I'd rather not. I want you to evolve naturally. Okay? Because I understand why it's shaking, why you're shaking. But it's okay. You will learn to take care of yourself. That's what I prefer to do. My job is to teach you, all of you, how to fix your problems, how to take care of yourself. Okay? And that's better for you in the long haul. Okay? So you see, this is again the proof that your shaking is a good thing, nothing to worry about, continue. And I want to share this with all of you so that you should feel free to come to our temples and practice, okay? And we'll help you. And then I hope that the other temples, the Sunims and the other monks will understand this as well. And it's a good thing. It's a good state, it's a very good state, especially when they come to our temple to practice. Okay? All right. Thank you for sharing with us. Anyone else? Anything else? Okay, very good. Okay, so formation, dwelling, decay, and emptiness. Next, 54. So he says, Master YongHua says, everything has formation, dwelling, decay, and emptiness. Therefore, what's the big deal? Why should I scold anything? Okay, why should I need to be afflicted over it? Okay, I will explain this to you here. What's there to scold is that why should I get afflicted? You will die. Whatever is uncomfortable will die. Whatever you do wrong will die and will become empty. So it doesn't matter. You wait long enough, it will die by itself. You don't have to do anything. That's the secret. You don't do anything. You don't add fuel to it. Because if you do anything at all, it will live longer. Okay? Yeah. See, this is what happens in the dwelling. It dwells, meaning it grows, because you're doing something to help it grow. That is, you keep on thinking about it. You do something about it, that's why it dwells. That's why it grows. Okay? Some point in time, you become tired and say, I have enough of this. I want an upgrade. Now Apple seems so ugly, despicable. Okay? I want oranges. You know what I mean? Okay? So that's what happens. I'm reminding you again. It dwells because you react to it. You keep on feeding it. Keep on thinking about it. Remember, the formation came because you willed it. Okay? You said, I want it. Okay? I want a baby. That's why the baby came. Okay? So that's because you want it. Now, the dwelling here is you keep on feeding it. Okay? And give them baby formulas. They give, you take them to swimming school. McDonald's Happy Meal. All those things. That's why it dwells. It keeps on growing and growing and growing. So when you practice, okay, it applies to your meditation practice as well. Formation, a thought comes. Dwelling. It dwells, it stays there because you react to it. You say, oh, I feel so depressed. I feel so bad. Okay? I don't feel like getting up. That's dwelling. Sounds familiar? You keep on feeding it. Because you keep on thinking about it, you keep on reacting to it. Okay? I want more fries, I want a shake, I want, You see? It grows. It grows. You see that? You think it's funny, but that's what you do constantly. And that's what happens. Yeah. He started with one burger, and then he added fries and a shake, and pretty soon become fat. It's really dwelling. Okay? And you keep on adding more and more and more. Yes, one.
From Aqua Racer, Master YongHua, what is the original nature that sentient beings got offended? What is the nature of the ego? We can separate our ego with our Buddha nature? How?
Through cultivation, through the proper guidance, you'll be able to control your ego and destroy it. And that's what Buddhism is about. Buddhism is about helping you do that, giving you. We have a track record, success formulas to do that. We have a track record of a lot of people have done that. So there's a way to do that. That calls for training, calls for hard work. All right, so it's decay, and so we decay, and then emptiness. So he says, what's there to scold? If someone insults me, right? What's an insult? Formation. Yes? And you talking to me? Okay? That's called what? Dwelling. That's dwelling, isn't it? Or, how dare you? Okay, that's dwelling, isn't it? Or, I'm going to show you. That's dwelling, right? And what's the decay? Right at the mouth. Wouldn't that feel good? Yes? Okay, that's decay. Emptiness, knocked out. So far, so good. So Master Xinhua says, if you mess around, okay, it's formation, okay? I'm not going to react to it. Therefore, there's no dwelling, there's decay, and there's emptiness. Yes, 9.
Master, so, since my mom passed, my dad was going through the grief. And so the first year he was going through the grief, like we can see it's a natural process. But after that, the second year, it seems that it started getting worse and worse. And right now, when you say you are feeding it, and lately I have like 3 weeks that I'm like, what else can I do? Because at least I have tried the little that I know. Maybe it's not enough. But when he finds out that I am at the temple, he feels like I am leaving him behind, or that I am paying more attention to something else or someone else. And he does get angry, and now he's demanding. He doesn't tell me straight out, but he demands more time. So he was telling me maybe I should go back to drinking. He was an alcoholic. He stopped drinking. He has like 30 years without drinking. And just yesterday when I called him, he said, oh yeah, maybe I should start drinking and see how that goes. But I think it was more like his anger, like he wants me to, because these days I haven't seen him. And I think it was his way to cry, but I can see him, he keeps on repeating the same thing over and over. And I really don't see how to get him out of it. And I just thought, like, what can I do? It's going to be what it's going to be. I am doing my very best. He says that I am the only daughter that is there, that has time for him. So, but I guess because when I separate or I spend time on things that I want to do, then he feels it. So, yeah, I just feel like, he's continually feeding, and he's getting to the point that I just don't know what to do.
Well, I believe that you need to take care of yourself. Okay, just because other people have needs and are confused doesn't mean you have to be like them. It doesn't mean that you have to make sacrifices for them. And that's would bind you in the wheel of reincarnation forever. You need to break out of it. So what you're doing is you are taking care of yourself by cultivation, and you're creating blessings for yourself when you give them to him. Okay, that's a lot more beneficial, a lot more useful to him than indulging and spending time and indulging him. There's a middle way where you need to do some of that, okay, to reassure him you're not abandoning him, but also at the same time there's a limit. Okay, you need to take care of yourself. I'm for taking care of yourself first, because that's critical for yourself, and you are helping in a big way, a lot more than people realize. And if people don't understand, so be it. That's a price for our path. That's our obstructions. And so there's no doubt in my mind that when you spend time cultivating and you're generating a lot of blessings, you can give them away to people. That's the kind of help that's very useful to them that they cannot get otherwise. Okay, and so yes, you spend some time and then assure him that you're not abandoning him. Where he says, "But I need to go. I need to do this thing." Okay, yeah. Yes.
Master, he actually says that, oh, if I go visit your brothers or your sister, I don't feel he said, I don't feel fine or okay because they have a lot and then I go home really afflicted. But when I'm with you, I feel joyful and ready to move on. It's just that I guess right now, just because I haven't seen him and he still haven't been able how to deal with mom's death. So eventually when I separate, I don't know. Is that so? Actually you respond my concern. Thank you, Master.
Yeah, you need to reassure him, but you can't. You can't do the stupid way, if you will. I don't do that. Okay? It takes fortitude. It takes belief in yourself and belief in what you do. Because to him, it's called love, but to us, it's stupidity. Okay? You really have better ways to help him. Jewel Conk.
네, 단톡방에 올리신 주민님 질문이랑 코멘트입니다. 질문입니다. 지금의 남편과 결혼한 이유가 저의 4단계의 테스트를 통과를 해서 결혼을 했다고 생각했는데요. 말씀대로라면 이미 그 전에 한 선택을 그저 반복한 것일까요? 나름대로 촘촘한 테스트를 해서 결혼했다고 생각했는데 조금 허탈합니다. 코멘트입니다. 마티나의 단식을 응원해요. 힘내요.
Master, I'd like to say something. This is from Jumi. I met my husband and I got married with him. I thought I had many tests to find my husband, and then I made a lot of tests for him to pass, and then that's why I chose my husband. But after I hear what you said, I guess this is not really all those things I did to meet my husband is not really my choice. The choices came from the past life, and so I feel kind of don't know what to do with that. And I'm cheering Latina.
So are you considering upgrades too? Can we get to the bottom of it? Let's not beat around the bush, okay? I'd like to stress again that it's very important to take care of yourself. I feel very strongly about it, okay? If people love you enough, then they should give you room to find your way, to find yourself, to fulfill your dreams or do things that's important to you. Because I feel that if anyone gets in the way of cultivation, okay, we should try to resolve it, and compromise a little bit, but I'm not willing to give up because what we do is nonsense. Outside of cultivation, everything you do is nonsense. Everything you do prolongs the suffering and spreads the suffering. I'm sorry. That's the facts. Okay? It's so much suffering, and you think you're doing out of love? It's nonsense. No, you're not. Okay? So that's why there must be a compromise somewhere. Don't be so strict as to say, it's my way or the highway. And if I don't go to the temple, we should get divorced and so forth. You should negotiate. You sit down and talk to them. You said, this is important to me. I hope you love me enough to allow me room to find myself, to pursue something that's important to me. Okay? And tell yourself, if it's not the case, I plan for an upgrade. And I plan that thought. Okay? It may not happen this lifetime, but in the future, you put an end to this. You know what I mean? I feel that if your partner loves you enough, okay, they should not try to stifle you, try to prevent you from exploring and discovering yourself, what's important to you. Okay, this is a relationship, not slavery. Okay, whether it's your parents, whether it's your spouses, whether it's your children, they should respect you enough to give you that freedom and the time to do it. Okay? Because remember, the marriage to love will eventually becomes empty. And that's a fact. Are you preparing for it? Cultivation helps you prepare for it. So the Master YongHua says, if you screw up, if you misbehave, I don't care, okay? I will not get afflicted because it's formation, it's dwelling, it's decay, and we're emptiness, okay? Because if I get offended, if I get afflicted, I'm fanning the flame and make it last longer, it will help it dwell longer, that's all. There are some people where if they are so confused that if you corner them or you point out their mistakes, they don't want to know. Okay, so ignore it. What's the big deal? It's their lives. It's your lives. Okay, you want to revolve on the wheel? Revolve on the wheel. It's none of our business. We're busy enough taking care of people who, what is she doing now? Look like a tail, huh? And conch. It's so cool, look at that. Yeah, it's her head. It's so cool. By the way, you guys are laughing at that, okay? Let me tell you, let me give you a clue. Okay? That's a self-nature fixing itself. Would you believe? It's a self-nature healing itself. That's why it's a very, very good state. You guys who are not doing should be envious and jealous instead of, criticizing and rejecting them. This is a darn good state. It's so cool. Okay. And next, 555, he says, when I think about it, originally it's a sad thing. Okay? What sad thing? Are we there yet, Xianxin, or are we past it? I think we passed it. I think we stopped at 53. Okay, continue, please. $59. Okay, let's continue then. Never mind. When I think about it, originally it's pity. So he says, when I think about her story, that Guo Liang, that stupid woman, okay, the illiterate woman, it's pitiful. The world is just like this. The worldly matter, when you form here, over there should be decay. When you dwell here, over there should be empty. So it's not just here, okay, but it's everywhere throughout the universe. Wherever you see, when you see formation or birth, there is some decay somewhere else in the universe. And there is some dwelling somewhere else in the universe. So this is every single thing. You see, this is what is the Avatamsaka Sutra called 种种缘起. Okay, meaning that 种种缘起. So meaning that it's layers upon layers, conditions arising. Okay, so what's happening to you is also something else happening to you is when happening to her. So it's a big mess. Okay, we all intertwined together in a way. Actually, that's why you are sitting next to her, and she hates it, and then. And then you say you kind of like it, and the lady behind both of you says, "Oh, it's fun, so fun to watch the two of them interact." So it's all that, because lady behind you likes to watch movies. You see, all those conditions are intertwined together. That's why what brought all of us together. Isn't that cool? And so layers upon layers of interactions to the infinite. Okay? 57. And he says, I wasn't in Hong Kong. If I were in Hong Kong, I would have... I would know better. I would have kept an eye on her because she will make mistakes. Now I'm in America. I believe that people in America would not do this. Okay, people in America would not do what she does, and that's what happens. Okay, we in 59. Go on. Go on.
I will tell you this again. Today, he told me again that Guo Li asked me, "What do you need?" About my clothes, I said I had never told anyone that I needed anything. I need everything. I need nothing.
我到这个美国来，这么多年，在香港还没有给我做过一件衣服。
About my clothes, all these years that I am in America,
那么在去年
I didn't have any clothes that made in Hong Kong.
这个也是这个谈呢，他们回去，大家听说我这没有衣服了，做了一件。
Last year, the same group went back. They probably heard that I didn't have clothes, so they made one for me.
Clothes.
Clothes.
这是，那么今年又问我这么多年就
Regarding this matter, they asked me again this year.
是谁给我做衣服？我没有说啊，我没有什么衣服了，你给我做一件，没有，就是。
All these years, even when somebody was making clothes for me, I never said, "Oh, I don't have much clothes that you make one for me." Never.
穷死不化缘的，我就是冻死，也不求缘，不说哦，我这个没有了。
Dying of poverty, I will not beg. Even if I freeze to death, I will not seek. I will not say, "Oh, I don't have this."
我在大陆的时候穿那个，在香港也穿那个很破的衣服。哦。
When I was in mainland China, I wore a ragged robe. When I was in Hong Kong, I also wore tattered clothes.
他们看我穿这个衣服都是，认为很不美观的，但是我穿的是觉得很不错的。
They saw that the clothes I wore was very unsightly, but I felt they were good to wear.
那么至于吃的东西，我也不欢喜。 向任何人说哦，我想什么东西吃了，除非。
As for food, I don't like to tell anyone, "Oh, I want to eat a certain thing."
Okay, let's go back to the clothing thing. Okay, so new topic. New topic, 59. He says, today one of his disciples, Guo Li, asked him, "Do you need anything?" So the master said, I never told anybody I needed anything. I need everything, I need nothing. So what does it mean? First of all, he says, I never told anyone that I needed anything. It's a fact. He never, whatever he needed, okay, he never told anyone, whether it's money, well, except for the one instance where he said you should stop going on vacation, skip your vacations, skip going to restaurants, so give me more money so that I can, buy the property. That's the only time, okay? That's the only exception I'm aware of. But he says, what he said is true. I never needed anything, okay? And I need everything, and I need nothing. What does it mean? He says, I can use everything. Everything is important. Everything would help me. Anything. okay? And everything would help me. Piece of cloth, money, car, helicopters, yachts, red cars. Okay? I need everything. And yet I need nothing. Meaning that I need everything I can use, and yet I need nothing, meaning that I don't have to have them. Okay? Yes, I need everything in life. Because whatever I get, I can use them. Okay? For my work. Oh, there's a black thing on my forehead all this time here. You guys having a good time or something? Okay, so he can use everything, okay? He can put everything to use, and yet he doesn't need any of it, okay? If it's there, he'll use it. If it's not there, it's okay too. About my clothes, 61. All these years I have been in America, I didn't have any clothes made in Hong Kong, okay? His connection to Hong Kong, not mainland China. So he has disciples in Hong Kong who are still supporting him, okay? And so he says, I never had any clothes made in Hong Kong. So he's been wearing the clothes he brought from Hong Kong all this time. He came in the 60s, so for several years he's been wearing the same clothes. 62. Last year, his group of disciples went back to Hong Kong, so they realized that the master had been wearing old clothes, so they made some new clothing, some new clothes for him, and that's what happened. Okay, he needed new clothes. Okay, but he could do without the new clothes, so he didn't need the new clothes. But if the new clothes showed up and given to him by his disciples, he would use them. Does it make sense? Okay, so he had both sides, both cases covered. So this year, last year, they made a new clothes for him because they went back to Hong Kong. This year, they asked him again, "Do you need anything?" And so they're hoping that he'll ask for a different color or something. Okay, but no. He says all these years they've been making clothes for me without my asking them. Okay, at all. I never asked for new clothes. That's true. His clothes actually are pretty shabby. All the few times I met him in person, his clothes are very, very cheaply made, cheap fabric, cheap everything. And says, why don't I ask for anything? He says, dying of poverty, 不化缘, I will not beg. If I'm freeze to death, I will not seek. Okay, 求缘, 化缘. Okay, will not seek. And so I will never say, I don't have this. Can you give me one? Okay, and so to me, for some reason, this is what stuck in my mind. That no matter what happens, you endure it. Yeah, endure poverty, you endure cold. You don't ask for anything. Okay, especially in the West where we are so money hungry, money dependent. Everything runs on money. Everything is measured by money. So to be poor is actually a disease. Okay, that makes it justifiable for us to beg. Yes. Okay, and when people hear of people in poverty, most people in the U.S. are very, very generous. They help out. Okay, many of them here in the U.S. So lots of good people, lots of decent people, compassionate people. And he says, but see, for us as monks and nuns, when we are poor, we will not beg. Okay, meaning that get used to living in poverty. This is what monks are supposed to do. We live in poverty. Okay? It doesn't matter how big the temple, you still live in poverty. You need everything, but we don't need anything. Okay? So this not a disease, also being ashamed, because people look down upon you, saying, you are a cultivator and you're so poor. You are Mahayana and you're so poor. What is the matter with you? Are you stupid? Are you fake or something? It doesn't matter. This is what we do. This is how the Buddha taught us. Monks and nuns, we live in poverty. Okay? It's perfectly okay with us. And if we happen to freeze to death, we will not seek. Okay? We will not seek. If we have such dire needs, we still don't seek. We still don't ask for help. And that's stuck in my mind. That's what I like about him. That's what I admire about this man, is that he's the only person in my entire life who thinks that way, who behaves that way his entire life. That's remarkable. Okay? Everyone else would say, I'm poor, will you help me out? I'm doing a lot of good. Okay? Will you help me out? And you say, I will not beg. No matter how poor I am, I will not beg. When I'm dire needs for survival, okay? Freezing to death. What else is there? You're going to freeze to death. I will not seek. I will not seek for help. Okay? So, I admire this man for this. This is these are the three principles. They were my guiding principles for my early lives. Okay, my early career as a monk, as a left-home person, they were my guiding principles. I didn't have him to guide me, but I used those three principles as the guidelines to help me in my journey. Okay, and I lucked out. Let me tell you, I lucked out because in the worst times, the worst needs, someone stepped up. I never had to ask for it. Okay, so that's why I learned. I learned is that you cannot do this unless you have blessings. So don't worry about it. You plant blessings. Okay, you help. You plant your blessings, and the blessings will take care of of yourself. You don't need to worry about it. You don't need to plan. You don't need to scheme. You don't need to plot for your success, for your glory. Okay? We do the right things. We cultivate as per the ingenious instructions of the patriarchs, of the sages that we've been taught. That's all. We don't care about anything else. Anything else is secondary. Doesn't matter. Family likes you, love you, good. They don't love you, big deal. Okay? I was in mainland China. I wore a ragged robe. I was in Hong Kong. I wore tattered clothes. Okay? That's what he did. Didn't bother him at all. And the people in Hong Kong look at him, they felt that they're unsightly, but the master says, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. It's good enough for me. Okay? It's not good to wear. It means here that, hey, it's good enough. 很不错 here is good enough. Okay? And that's all it is. He's not worried. And then, as for food, I don't like to tell anyone I want to eat a certain thing. I want to eat some hamburgers. Never. Yes. Fist.
마스터 참회를 드리고 싶습니다. So I would like to repent about something. 사실 오늘 마스터 달마 법문 그 법문 전에 부엌에서 너무 편안한 분위기에서 이제 프란시스와 마티나가 있었는데 제가 너무 편안하다 보니까 사실 그런 걸 정말 원한 것은 아니었지만 그냥 할머니의 국이 먹고 싶다. 할머니가 만들어주셨던 국이 먹고 싶다. 한국의 음식이 그리웠다. 뭐 이런 얘기를 어떻게 하다 보니 하게 됐습니다. 근데 지금 바로 이런 선화상인의 법문을 듣고 마스터께서 심각하게 얘기해 주시는 것을 들으면서 참여를 드려야 된다고 생각해서 이렇게 참여를 하고 싶습니다.
Master, I'd like to confess, honestly, tonight before the Dharma talk starts, I was at the temple kitchen. I was with Francis and Martina. We're just talking comfortably and we're talking about the food. And then I start to talk about, I miss grandma's soup. And then I miss Korean dishes. And then after listening to this great Master Shenhua's teaching, I felt this serious teaching taught me to repent, that how I was really comfortable in the kitchen and thinking about the food.
Shame on you. Are you a real nun? Yes, one.
Master, we really can't talk about it. Because I was really craving a chicken salad today.
Yeah, you can talk about it. Craving is just a thought. A thought is not necessarily yours.
Martina is going to make some food tomorrow. She's going to make it anyways. We can't discuss what we want to eat. She's asking. I didn't go up to her and say, I want to eat this. She was talking about it. And so can we discuss
So she's
it?
going to bring some chickens?
No, it'll be vegetarian, but then she can imitate it.
Well, you know, lucky for you, you're such a low life compared to Master Shenhua. Master Shenhua says, my standard is that I will not beg. If I'm faced with death, I will not seek help. And you're not facing death. You are not poor. I've been providing for you all these years. And you have a craving for chicken? So, what can I say? I'm going to behave like him. I will not now you. I will not, I will not scold you. I will not agitate you. I'm going to agitate myself. What kind of person are you? I mean, I don't know about you. For me, I was so happy to finally find a man that was so superior to all the men I met. You know, I met great men, successful men, rich men, powerful men, con man, you know, ugly man, you know, and all those things. And he's the one who stands out. I said, wow, this is what I'd like to be. I want to be like him. He inspired me to do these things. Okay? And that's what kept me glued together all these years. That's what I'm trying to share with you. But you know, if you're low life, it doesn't interest you, sure, have some chicken. I will not scold you. I'm going to try to be just like him. I still have a little bit, disdain for people who have craving for chicken or Korean food. It's natural to have craving for food, you know. It's natural to want a burger, but you don't have to go out and get a burger. Wait a minute. Let me take it back. Can we change? Can we erase this? Yes, 6.
Master, we can be volunteer to get a Neapolitan pizza.
I pretend I didn't hear it. Yes, 5.
Master, after I participated in my first Fo Chi, my wife was so nice to me. On the way home, she said I could go and get McDonald's. So I got a double quarter pounder with cheese and chicken nuggets, and that was the first non-vegetarian food I had in a while, but it was I was dwelling in my love for my wife.
So your wife trains you like people trains dolphins. Is it fair to say, hey, wife?
Well, Master, somebody has to do it.
Listen, okay. We all have lapses, okay? We should be so honored to hear from this great man here who says, I spend my entire life, being able to do that, except that one lapse when I ask people for money. You see, he has a lapse to himself, okay, that we know about. Okay? So it's okay to have lapses, but what we're talking about is the standards. He set such high standards. This is for superior people that we can strive for. And that's what it's about. We're not asking for perfection. We're asking for, can you appreciate it? And it's not about Buddhism, not about Catholicism. It's just a great person, He's such a superior being. When the rest of us are struggling and fighting each other and compromising ourselves, it's no. I'm not going to be like that. So to me, it is such a treat to be able to hear of this such a behavior. And that's why he's way up there and we down here. And what's fascinating to me is the Buddhist disciples in particular. They're so hungry with learning about the Shrangama mantra, the Great Compassion mantra, the 4 2 hands and eyes. I'm more impressed with these 3 principles, to tell you the truth. Because I recited the Shrangama mantra, I did the 4 2 hands and eyes, I did the Great Compassion mantra for 300 times a day for months. Didn't help me. didn't help me with these 3 principles. I still couldn't do the 3 principles. You know what I'm talking about? That's the Dharma for me. Whatever clothes, whether they're good to wear, they are good enough. I want to eat a certain thing, okay, chicken, Korean food, you know. Hey, it's a lapse. I hope that tomorrow you will repent and make up for it and fast. Or abstain from lunch at least. I mean, that's integrity, man. Yes, one.
I feel I'm lying if I did that.
Low life. So it's up to you. You know, no one's forcing you. And you have something, a beautiful person, a beautiful thing to do, and you say, no, I'd rather be a low life. How about you? Okay. I think time is up. We will pick this up. Those of you who are low lives, repent. We have high standards, right? I mean, I know it's, I admit to you personally, I'm not living up, I cannot keep up with this, okay? But that's what cultivation is about. You see, you admire something, you say, okay, that's what I want to go. I want to measure myself against that. Not, measure myself, oh, I might have a bigger temple than you, I have more disciples than you, and so forth. I'm better educated than you. That's petty, that's worldly. It's something lofty, something that's special, that makes life interesting. Because it's hard to do. If it's that easy to do, then I want to upgrade. Okay, we stop here tonight. Thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow night.